And you shall hear the surly, sullen bell give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that writ it, for I love you so, that I, in your sweet thoughts, would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if I say you look upon this verse, when I perhaps compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love, even with my life, decay, lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I am gone. Let's see.
James, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Okay, you know how you were talking about Romeo and Juliet was also a commentary on how dangerous the new weaponry was in the society, and also the unlove. And what about like venereal disease at the time? Did that was that killing a lot of people, hurting a lot of people, and did he ever address that like as a danger or in his place? Or not his place?
I don't. You know what? That's a good question. I have no idea. He does talk about venereal disease. I mean, it does come up in the imagery.
Usually in the comical sense, usually as being referenced by a comical character as a crude way to illustrate another person's relationship. It's really, I don't think he ever tackled it on a very serious level.
No, I don't think so either. He's so funny.
It's funny. It's like the job of giving. Maybe something like the job of the full dimension, something like that. Oh, because they were doing you can't get out of things like that without it being this big issue. Yeah, it was so much when you mentioned it, so much like ha BD's funny, you have it. It was more of the as was just saying like the fool would be able to get away with saying it in a very bawdy way because he could. That's how I get away with saying a lot of that. Something that had been around for like we see it now because we got computers through things. Back then it was part of life. I don't know if an issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like it didn't really talk about gravity either because it. Yeah. By the way, a great book, Bernard Hesch's book. Let's get off Shakespeare. Okay. It's called The Purpose-Driven Universe. And basically, Bernard Hesch is an astrophysicist. And he's saying, he's like one of the big guns of the scientific community. And he's basically saying that the universe was fine-tuned by God. There are like 37 things about this universe that happened in the Big Bang that if any, like the way that carbon forms in the heart of stars, or the relationship of antimatter to matter, how much there is of that, there's so many things that if they were just slightly different, carbon-based life would not have formed. It seems like this universe was very specifically designed for carbon-based intelligent life to happen.
What's it called again?
The Purpose-Driven Universe. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I would like to make a formal request.
Okay.
Could you not post what books you feel passionate about and that maybe you've read and that you would recommend? Because a lot of us would love to read them. You mentioned it. What did you say again? Like, what book was that? And it's like, you have an audience to go to.
That would be awesome. Okay. I'll put it on. I'll put it down. Because the other thing is like, it's either there's only one universe and it was definitely created by a overarching consciousness, or string theory is correct, and there are an infinite amount of universes stacked on top of each other, right? But what I say is, what's that? Well, there's either one universe or there's an infinity of universes.
Okay, why is there an infinity of universe all
Exactly. See, that's my point. Is like if string theory is right and there's an infinity of universes, then anything that I imagine is possible, which means there is a God eating a cheeseburger, watching television, who's in charge of everything. I just thought of it. There it is.
But if you have an infinite amount of time to try combinations of things that, if they come together, would be correct, would be what's needed for the Big Bang. And that still supports that it's random and it's just it's probability. It doesn't have to be.
Let's say that's
Okay, if you have an infinite amount of time to try different combinations of conditions to combine to make the Big Bang possible or make carbon-based life possible.
If so many things were slightly different, it would just be a bunch of molecules, just this gray mass in space. Like so many things were specifically created in a certain way, like the relationship of electromagnetism to the weak nuclear force, slightly different, there would be nothing. So it doesn't seem like it's a mistake at all. It seems like a really specific experiment.
There's a 50-50% chance. We don't know, is what he's saying.
Hayes would disagree with you.
We're looking at the end we're looking at the position of the end of that. Like we look back and we didn't hedge it.
Smart. It is possible that there's a God. Okay? It is at least it's possible.
One cool thing to ask, you can ask animals whether or not they believe in God. Whether or not they feel.
See, that's my whole thing. If Heisenberg is right, then how did the world form before consciousness happened? Like there's billions of years before any consciousness happened. So that means there's a God. Right, there it is. But I mean, there's a lot of the Earth had been cool, or get hit by a bunch of comets and stuff before we were ever around to perceive it, which means that God was perceiving the whole thing